And this guy, he's called Faris. His name is Faris Hammadi. Listen to what he says. I found what he said very interesting, right? When I watched the video, it was very interesting. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Allah's legislation is divine, perfect. Anybody says otherwise, that means you are not a believer. Our legislation or our invention or our discoveries, it's not perfect. صح? It's not perfect. We keep on changing and developing. That's why we need innovation in life about worldly things. But when we talk about the legislation and the creation and the order of Allah, it has to be divine. If it's not divine, then it's not Allah. So Allah has orders, and revelation and religion is perfect. When we say perfect, that means it cannot be changed. صح? It cannot be changed. And that's why any bid'ah that anybody comes up with in religion, it is dalalah, it is misguidance, it is evil and wicked, and we cannot do it. That's why Allah Azza wa Jal even said something very, very severe in the Quran. قال أم لهم شركاء شرعوا لهم من الدين ما لم يأذن به الله. Do they have associates with them who legislated something in religion that Allah did not permit? Why are you coming up with something new in religion when Allah did not permit that?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Faris. That is Faris Hammadi. I took this from his page. Now, this guy is an opposition to people who follow the Quran. He hates the people who are Quran alone Muslims, who follow the Quran and happen to take guidance from the Quran alone. He doesn't like such people. But these same people seem to be contradicting themselves. It seems like the brain they have, I think, is different. It's wired differently. I don't get it. Today, when they say blue, tomorrow they say black. This is how they reason. This guy happens to be famous. That is why I have to tackle him on this. So I'm going to replay the video. We are going to cross-check whatever he said. Then at the end of the day, we will ask him a question. Then what is your problem when we say the book of God is sufficient for us to follow? What is your problem? But let's analyze.
Allah's legislation is divine.
He says the legislation of Allah is divine. The legislation of Allah, that is the creator of the heavens and the earth, it is divine, right? So by God.
Perfect.
It is perfect. Now, you know perfection, right? When something is perfect, you don't need correction. You don't need something to polish it again. Perfection. Perfect.
Anybody says otherwise?
Anybody says otherwise,
that means you are not a believer.
Oh my God!
That means you are not a believer if you say otherwise. That is what we are saying. The believers of the Quran, upholders of the Quran, and we say the Quran is enough. We say the book of God is perfect for us. So beyond perfection, we don't seek anything again. This guy says anybody who says otherwise, he's not a believer.
What?
Hello? I think he is talking to himself again.
You get it?
Because he's a sectarian and he's a Sunni who happens to be against people who say the Quran is enough. But here you are. He's speaking, and this video is on his page. I took it from his page. But let's listen. I'm tackling him. May it be he gets to hear it. I'll confront him one-on-one, inshallah.
Our legislation or our invention or our discoveries, it's not perfect.
He says our legislation, our invention, right? Whatever they invented, their legislation, we as people, ours is not perfect. I agree. So books like Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Jamia Tirmidhi, and so on, they are not perfect. They are the human-made books. They are story books. Inconsistency, fabrications, contradictions. How do you say? You mention it, interpolations, discrepancies, and so on and so forth.
It's not perfect. We keep on changing and developing.
So he's admitting that what we, the people, invent our legislation and everything is not perfect because we keep on changing, updating, and so on.
Developing. That's why we need innovation in life.
So according to him, we need innovation in life. According to them, the word innovation is bid'ah. So we need bid'ah in life, right? We need bid'ah in life, he said. Okay?
About worldly things.
About worldly things.
But when we talk about the legislation and the creation and the order of Allah,
but when we talk about legislation and the creation and the order which God has set by God himself,
it has to be divine. If it's not,
it has to be divine.
Oh my God!
So when it comes to the matters of God and Islam, it has to be divine. You can't bring people's opinions or innovations to add it to Islam. It is wrong. According to this scholar, this is what he's saying.
not divine, then it's not Allah.
He says anything which is not divine cannot be from God. So it is not of Allah again. Anything which is not divine.
Oh my God!
So Allah has orders and revelation and religion is perfect.
So Allah's orders, revelations, and then the religion is perfect. Right? Good.
When we say perfect, that means it cannot be changed.
When we say perfect, that means it cannot be changed. Yeah?
صح? It cannot be changed. And that's why this any bid'ah that anybody comes up with in religion, it is dalalah.
You get it?
Any bid'ah anybody comes up with in the religion, listen carefully. He said in our worldly life, bid'ah is needed. Innovation is allowed in our worldly lives. But when it comes to the matters of religion, anybody who invents a bid'ah in the religion, it is dalala. It is an error. It is straying, wayward.
It is misguidance. It is evil and wicked.
Oh my God!
It is misguidance. It is evil and wicked. Coming from Faris, Hammadi, not me. Listen.
And we cannot do it.
And we cannot do it. Any innovation you add up into Islam, we have to take it out. It's evil. We don't need it. Out of coverage area.
That's why Allah Azza wa Jal even said something very, very severe.
Now he's going to quote the book of God, the Quran. So they will say mostly when you hear somebody using the signature Allah Azza wa Jal, you already know this is a sectarian. Because this is how they've been taught to be calling God. Huh? So now he's going to quote God and going to the book of God to tell us what God says concerning people who invent innovations in their deen.
Severe in the Quran. قال أم لهم شركاء.
So he's quoting Quran chapter 42 verse 21.
لهم من الدين ما لم يأذن به الله.
So the verse says, أَمْ لَهُمْ شُرَكَاءُ شَرَعُوا لَهُم مِّنَ الدِّينِ مَا لَمْ يَأْذَنُوا بِإِلَّهِ. It says, or do they have idols who have legislated for them of a religion to which God has not authorized? Do they have? Do they have? So then, let's listen to Faris.
Have associates with them who legislated something in religion that Allah did not permit. Why are you coming up with something new in religion when Allah did not permit that?
See, so he quoted the verse and then he say, why are you coming up with something new in religion that God hasn't permitted that? Your garbage hadith books, has God permitted them? No. So Faris, you are a hypocrite yourself. If you are watching, you are a hypocrite yourself because you are against people who say the Quran is enough. Today you are talking as befitting wise person. Tomorrow you are saying something different. So which is which? How should we take you seriously again? And this is what they do. He quoted God. He shared this on his page. So which means the deen of God is sufficient, nothing to be added. Is complete, nothing to be added. He quoted the verse of the Quran, chapter 42, verse 21. Do they have idols who have legislated for them of a religion to which God has not authorized? Do they have such idols? Do you have your Imam, Maliki, Shafi'i, Ambali, Hanafi? They give you legislations? Are you just fooling yourselves by your own innovations? So the scholars have to innovate certain things in the deen for you, and you think you are guided. I'm sorry. You're fooling yourselves. This is your own scholar, Faris. We are going to hold him accountable by this statement. He shared it on his page. So they don't reason at all. And then when you are talking with common sense, they come and spew hatred at you. Then out of their foolishness, oh, are you an hadith rejecter? Your own scholar is going against your own hadith books. But you foolishly don't reason. Well, that's what we have. The most important aspect of your faith, it says in Quran chapter 98 verse 5, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ. That is the most important aspect of your deen. وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ. And they were not mandated or they were not commanded except to worship, that is to serve God, sincerely devoting the deen to him, truthfully, orthodoxly. That is the number one. If you fail that, your salat, your zakat, they are useless. The salat and the zakat are like passengers, just helping you wipe out your bad deeds. That's all. Yeah? But the number one thing that will save you in front of God is illa man ata Allah bi qalbi salim. Quran chapter 26 verse 89. The one who comes to God with a sincere heart, the righteous heart, with a sound heart, that is what will save you. So